one.
Oh my
Why are you
God.
telling me to get the fuck out of here with that?
Stop with this shit. I bet you there's no fucking aliens there.
Dude, I don't care if they're there. I watched the Bob Lazar documentary. That shit was good.
I don't know.
Are you telling me you don't believe in aliens?
Say that, but they're not at Area 51.
Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, do you believe in aliens?
I believe that there's something else out there.
So then you believe in aliens?
I don't know what they are.
Why?
I don't know.
Why with the balloon?
I don't know. Are we recording?
Yeah, shut
Oh.
the fuck up.
I didn't know that.
They're extraterrestrial.
I don't
Just
know.
like
other
other
if
living
somebody
creatures.
else came into our world, like they would be confused with what we are. So I mean, I don't know if that would be an alien or not, or what it'd look like.
Do you think they know? Like, do you think they know that they're aliens?
No,
Or you're saying that there's this whole
No.
there's another species or like extraterrestrial life we have no idea yet?
I just think that there's definitely something else out there that we have not explored.
For sure. That's like
I don't know,
100%
dude.
factual.
You watch that Bob Lazar documentary? I mean, that guy seems pretty sold. Like,
That there's aliens at Area 51?
I don't know if there's actual aliens, but he's like, there's some serious like out of this world technology.
Oh,
that
for
they
sure.
have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's I think that there's a bunch of shit there.
He was saying that like he's seen multiple UFOs, like that they have UFOs, and like he was like, I've seen them, I've seen the technology, like the whole thing. And the guy, I mean, maybe he's just like a really good salesman or whatever, but he doesn't present it as like I'm trying to
I have a hard
convince
time
you.
trusting anything I watch on like a documentary or like it's just. I feel like people, like you said, are good salesmen. They bring all these different like facts or evidence and
Well, the guy doesn't even do that. He just tells his story and he's like, listen, I really don't want to tell you. Like, I'm just telling. Honestly, it started out, or he let the word out so that he was like, listen, this is what I know, and if I go missing, this is why. That's literally, he was like, in an interview, he was like, yeah, why are you telling all this to us? He goes, well, because I know and I don't want to disappear. And I was like, okay.
I will say this is like my thought on it is I 100% believe aliens exist, obviously, just because there's so much space in this world and there's so many habitable planets across the many universes
Yeah.
that there just has to be extraterrestrial beings out there. But do I think there's any currently on Earth that we somehow have the power to capture? They have technology to get over here that we do not have.
Yeah.
I don't think we have the capabilities to imprison, contain these aliens in a confined little area, unless these aliens are the most gullible, dumb pieces of shit. But somehow they're incredibly tech savvy that they can create a craft that can go across galaxies and universes to get to Earth.
I like, it's like I bounce between the thought of like, there's this whole vast universe out there that we know nothing about, but at the same time, it's like, well, I've never seen it, so I don't really know. I just kind of gotta believe it. You know what I mean? Like in reality, we could just be living in a bubble.
Are you saying like all the stuff that we've been taught from like
all the
astronomy and
things that NASA
stuff?
has done to,
Like it could all just be like bullshit. You know
There's
what I mean?
That's
Like
100%.
like that's a definite possibility.
So you're telling me like we never flew on, like we never been to the moon?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like
There's
that's all.
certain
Like
things
that's
that-
all we know.
It's kind of like I'm trying to think of an example, but like sociology is kind of the basic principle where you're like you've been taught to think a certain way for so long that you never really question what you have been taught because you're just trusting what somebody is saying as like gospel
Because somebody else would trust it, and you're just like, well, this is the norm,
and it's just passed down, and it could just be a load of gobbledygook,
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I was watching YouTube, and these guys were having this interview, and they were like answering weird questions from the internet. And one of the questions was like, "How do you know your memories are true?" And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Some people get really like cognizant, and they just dig super deep in their thoughts.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you know that your memories are true? Like, how do you remember anything?
Well,
like it's your memory. You know what I mean?
Well, do you ever?
There's no proof of it.
Do
like,
you
it's
ever
just-
have like thoughts where you're like thinking of your thoughts like from like a third person? Like you look at yourself from a third person perspective.
Yeah, and it's like weird.
Yeah, I hate when I get in that like thought process.
Yeah,
and I try to remove myself from that. It's kind of like a creepy situation. You're like, damn. my whole life could be fake.
Yeah.
It's just like
I could wake up at any moment. How do I know I didn't get hit?
How do I know that my dreams are reality and that my reality is
how do I know that I didn't go through a near death experience, but my brain just tricked myself into thinking that I survived, or like I went past it and I'm not in a coma? You know what I mean? What's up, Ryan?
This is a really weird.
These aren't thoughts that you have?
Fucking never.
You've never like gotten like.
No.
You've never just thought...
I don't wrap myself up in my own thoughts like that. I live my life on a day-to-day basis, and that's pretty much it.
Oh, man, that's weird.
You don't question reality?
No.
Reality's often disappointing. The great philosophizer Thanos, he never taught you that?
Unless something out there makes me question my reality, but what to this point in my life has made me question reality?
There's just things that happen to not just you, but other people.
Because it's like only you've seen through your eyes. You know,
yeah.
Only you experience things through your eyes. So it's like, how do you know that I'm an actual real person,
and then
or not a figment of your imagination? You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't have any.
Or you can't see what I'm seeing, and I can't see what you're seeing because it's like we're individuals.
Or do you think that like your purpose on life is to maybe make a small impact on a bigger scale? Like maybe your impact was to maybe do one small thing that had like a ripple effect on the.
Meant to do anything else. I think that you have a.
You're just meant to live and die.
Sure, I mean,
if you do something cool during the middle of it, then good on you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't truly believe that like one person is meant to do something specifically. I think that opportunities lead to bigger things, and if somebody chooses to take those opportunities, then so be it. But no, I don't think that there's one thing that you're destined to do, whether that be invent the straw or, you know, at 3:00 on July 17, 2019, you were supposed to be at a Vaughn's. Like that, I mean...
What happened?
But what about, like, it doesn't...
We said as small as like it could be, so I small.
Okay. I thought that was a special day for you.
Mm-mm.
And you were like, at Vaughn's.
Yeah.
Like,
he's just trying to say, like...
No, I get you.
You know, butterfly effect, you know? One decision can change many outcomes.
Do you guys think that time travel's real?
Oh my god! Can we get on to the next?
I'm not a believer in. I'm not a believer.
Can we get on?
He said butterfly effect.
I'm not a believer in time travel. I think if that were existed, things would be different.
All right. Well, let's get into it.
You ever seen a hot tub time machine before?
Yeah.
Back to the Future? Any movie about time travel ever?
Boys, let's get to it.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Lights, camera, action.
What's up, everybody? We are the Three Amigos and a Podcast, Season 2, Episode 7. How are you guys doing?
I'm a little thrown off, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
We're jolly.
It's a weird conversation. I was just like halfway in, halfway out of.
Ryan's just not an abstract thinker.
I feel like...
That's not true. I feel like I'm an abstract thinker. I just don't, like...
I think your level... I feel like you don't have as deep-seated anxieties as Brandon and I.
Yeah, probably not.
That's what I gathered from that conversation.
I was like, me and Dean are like, yeah.
I will say, like, I remember it was like 3 or 4 years ago. It was on my birthday, and I was having some definite, like, equilibrium issues where I felt like I was having, like, not outer body experiences, but like, I mean, this is going to sound really fucking stupid, but it didn't feel like I was controlling everything that was going on.
That's kind of what we were talking about, though.
But like that like that's not a, like that equilibrium is like literally a mental capacity.
You're balanced.
Yeah. So basically what happened is there was a bunch of shit in my ear and it had to get flushed out. And then I felt better.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I still didn't feel like there was anything like...
Cosmic?
No, not like that.
Yeah.
Like, I knew what the problem was, and I got it fixed.
Yeah. I don't know if I've really had an out-of-body experience. It's more of like...
It wasn't an outer body.
It's more of like thinking about myself from a different perspective than my own and being like, that's a weird thought.
No, that's kind of what I was thinking. Was it was like Well, maybe like what I'm here to do is to like maybe influence somebody or do something small and make an impact in maybe not just my life, but some other people's lives too.
I really do think though, like if you go through your life and you think that way, the only things that can happen are positive.
Yeah.
Like if you feel like you're supposed to have an effect on whether or not it's you or somebody else, that means you're thinking positively. You're thinking with a bigger picture of not just what's happening to you. So if more people thought like that, Brandon and Dean, we would probably live in a better place.
My thought process is more or less not like maybe I'm supposed to impact something small, but I think I'm more of like Tywin Lannister, dude. Like I got to promote my family forward. Like that's my job. My job is to continue on. It's like,
what do you mean? Like have a kid?
Like make my bloodline better than it was before. Like just keep going up.
But I don't know if that's the best example to use.
Yeah, well, obviously not, because
his fucking
Cersei and
his
cousins or whatever, nieces.
Well, let's run you up to speed on Game of Thrones. Let's get our listeners up to speed where you're at.
Yeah, so I'd be done right now. I'd be done with Game of Thrones, just so you guys know. But luckily, you can see, future seasons.
What happens.
Like I can see other stuff. So basically, we just finished season 5.
It's so funny. Can I just say one thing real quick? Because when he was saying season 5 is my favorite, I'm sitting here last week and I'm like, he's going to be so pissed off when he watches this next episode.
Dude, that was the worst one. Like, Jon Snow dies, like, at the end. Like, that's how they do it. And I was like, okay. So
I love that episode, or at least that battle scene. Is that what you're talking about, right?
You're talking about
No. Jon Snow gets betrayed. Are you talking about the one with
Ygritte?
The wildlings. Yeah,
that's a dope. Like
I love that.
I think that's a couple episodes.
That might be my favorite. That might
really
be
early on.
That might be my favorite episode of the entire show. Like at least
that's before that though.
Yeah, it was like episode 2 or something.
It's the one where it's the one where Jon Snow has to kill her.
Yeah. No, Jon Snow doesn't kill Ygritte.
He doesn't.
The kid does.
But he was like right. He was right there, though, right?
They were looking.
She
at
was
each
gonna
other.
kill him.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, no,
he wasn't gonna fight her.
But that was the episode. I remember it being one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, but that's not the same episode where Jon dies.
No, Jon dies at the season finale.
Yeah, I think that was like the last 1 or 2 episodes before.
That was like those. That was
no, it was
favorite.
a while. It was a couple episodes.
Then how did he?
A couple episodes.
Yeah,
I can't remember how he died. Then
he got the little kid that killed Ygritte was like. Oh, one of the wildlings says...
Mr. Snow!
says that he knows your uncle and that he's still alive. And he's like, what? And he goes down there, and then there's all those, like, other... what do they call them? The crows? Night's Watch. People in the Night's Watch, and they're like, you brought the wildlings here, and they stab him. They're like, for the watch. And
I remember he gets, like, stabbed, like, a bunch of times.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, so first, the episode 9, the one before that, was when Stannis kills his daughter. And I was like, okay, that's like unforgivable. How could you write that? I'm almost done with you. Like, we have one more episode. Yeah, I was like, you have one more episode. You got to redeem yourself. Then Jon Snow dies in that episode, and I was like, no, fuck this.
See, the thing is like, luckily you're watching it now, and you have the ability to watch the next couple episodes. If you were watching, think about having the entire year to dwell about Jon Snow dying.
Yeah, I would have been pissed. No, so we didn't know, like, I didn't know that he was going to die at all. I thought he was going to finish out the whole show. But we were like, does he come back? And we went through the remaining seasons to look at thumbnails.
Yeah,
because it was
see if John was there.
Where is he? Where is he? And then he's finally in the last season, like the 3rd episode. It was like he was in the thumbnail. We're like, okay, so sometime he comes back.
Yeah,
but I have a feeling I know he comes back. It's going to be he's got to get brought back by the Melisandre.
Yeah, Red Witch.
Yeah. She's got to bring him back because, like, I saw that fire magic thing from that one episode where, like, the wolf or whatever killed the guy.
Damn, dude, there was so much potential for this show.
I mean...
Don't say that.
It's not, dude, it's a great show. It's a great show.
Yeah, it is a great show. It had a soft ending where it wasn't, like, bad, but it wasn't good.
Yeah. No, I didn't hate it. I feel like a lot of people ragged on it, but I didn't hate it.
It just kind of like you're just whelmed at the end of it. You're like, damn.
I want to do what he's doing though and watch it all the way through because I feel like if I watched it all the way through, it might click a little bit better.
Yeah,
I just want to know what's gonna happen with Arya because like she went blind and then they just left her after she like fucking betrayed the no face god or whatever his name is.
Wait, did she fight that one chick?
She killed Ilan Payne.
Okay, that's a dope scene.
Yeah, that was a super cool scene.
Did you see her kill her sister?
No.
No,
but Sansa and Reek escaped.
Oh, thank God.
That was a crazy scene.
That
dude.
shit's
That
getting
was
good
such,
though.
That was such a good like
this season's
visual.
my favorite.
Which one?
So you're on season 6. Season 6, my favorite.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything in season 6 yet though.
That's the one where
Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah, that's a good.
That's probably my favorite season.
That might be up there too. Those are two of my favorite episodes.
Yeah,
but
I feel like we've probably let you down up to this point about like how good it is. I'm just kidding. I like it.
This is my.
I know you guys don't want to like spoil anything for me, so I understand. Like it's hard to say like, well, where's this person at, or like because they do so much throughout the show that it's like, oh well, I really like early on I was like, oh dude, I'm a huge fan of Robb Stark, and you're like, his character development kind of sucks.
Yeah,
and I was like, how
kind of dies off a little bit.
I was like, how is it gonna suck? This guy's fucking awesome, and then he dies, and I was like, that makes sense. I understand why you were, passive on.
You know where they messed up in the show though in the final season is they tried to cram too much into too short of episodes. Yeah. It's like you had, was it 6 or 8 episodes, and they're trying to cram.
They did 10.
They're trying to
all others.
They're trying to condense everything into a few episodes, and you're like,
even if they
just you gotta wrap
10 episodes.
Yeah.
10 episodes, the same exact plot over 10 episodes would have been better.
Yeah, it's like you just kind of, I don't know. It
you
seemed
just feel rushed.
Yeah, it felt extremely rushed. Where it was kind of like
everybody felt the show is has its parts where it's very slow.
Yeah. Well,
but then the parts that are fast, you're like, whoa, that came out of nowhere.
Exactly.
So
and that's kind of like how
it makes it lose the element of surprise.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind
of
where
back to your Tywin Lannister thing. I don't know if that's the best example to use of how to mold your family. Maybe you could use somebody else from Game of Thrones, but I don't know if Tywin Lannister is the best one to use.
God damn it, dude. I don't even know what that fucking means.
Think about Tywin Lannister.
I know.
His children
made
children together.
I know.
That means they had to have sex.
I get that.
But
I'm saying his motive for his family was positive.
So that's what. So if you're
saying like another person, and I'm like, who?
Tywin?
I get what you're saying.
You're saying
we know
like,
what you're saying, but
I know what you're saying, but I'm trying to
yeah.
find a person that I'm like, who the fuck?
It's the fact that his kids came out all fucked up. That's why he's hung up on that example.
But I'm also trying to think of like,
what about Eddard Stark?
His bloodline's dead, except for Sansa and Arya
and Bran.
I forgot about Bran. I haven't seen them in forever. I guess John's. I guess Eddard's. But he was. I don't feel like he was all about his family. He was just more or less like
he's definitely a family man.
Be an honorable person.
I feel like he's definitely.
I feel like those kind
of
went hand in hand for him, though.
Yeah. Man, he died too soon in the show.
He definitely did.
I know.
That literally caught.
That
was to me the biggest surprise in the entire show.
That still might be one of the biggest surprises in television.
Honestly, like if I would have had it my way, I would have not Robb. Probably.
Rob's kind of a
there's
bitch,
there's too many other young ones.
Like Robb,
I would have tried to have a Stark marry Daenerys to merge those two families. That would have taken over the fucking world.
But like Robb, to me, he had a great start out, and then as soon as he took over the army, he's like, damn, he's a badass. And then he met the woman, and then he got the blinders on, kind of like how Jon got with Ygritte, but ultimately he went back. He had to do his duty.
Yeah,
and that's the big difference between Jon and Robb, was that Robb kind of let the woman take, and not that he wasn't doing the right thing. Like he always felt like he was doing the right thing, but as you learn from Game of Thrones, doing the right thing doesn't always keep you alive.
Yeah.
Because in the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
Oh man,
I'm pumped that you're still watching it. That's good.
Yeah, I'll keep it going.
To. Once you go down that rabbit hole, you
I'll keep it going.
Keep going.
Yeah, whatever.
But there's no stopping it.
So that was my week. How's you guys' week? Weeks were good?
Yeah, what did I do? Yesterday I ate a pretzel. That was pretty good. I love pretzels.
How are you gonna follow up Aliens in Game of Thrones with a pretzel?
Yeah.
It was a Wetzel's pretzel.
God, dude, salt or cinnamon?
Salt.
Okay.
Always salt.
Wait, did you dip it in nacho cheese?
Yeah. There was mustard too. What do you dip pretzels in?
I don't dip them
no,
in.
that's
I'm
fine.
not a big pretzel guy.
Yeah, I love pretzels.
I don't mind a good like Dijon mustard though, like something a little spicy, you know.
Yeah.
Give me a little kick.
Yeah.
But how was your week, B?
I'm trying to think. I don't even remember what I did.
Well, I mean, last week wasn't important. It's this upcoming week that's important for you. You got Comic-Con tickets.
I'm going to Comic-Con. Yeah,
that's right.
Sunday. I'm getting it all primed up. My brother's already there. He's got the 4-day pass, and
yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm. We're gonna go check out the Snoopy booth. My girlfriend Dama loves Snoopy. She's a Snoopy fanatic, and
the dog.
That reminds me of
like Peanuts. Like
from Rush Hour. She has a Snoopy tattoo on her lower back. She's stripping.
I love Snoopy.
I love Snoopy too.
She would get that. No joke. No.
That girl from
you
the
said
movie
no
could
joke.
get it.
No joke. Well, I'm just joking.
That girl from Rush Hour could get it. You know what I'm saying?
No, but yeah, pretty excining. Probably gonna hit a basic on Sunday. So the
pizza place,
pizza joint.
I've actually never been there.
I love that place. Yeah, we went there a couple times.
You've never been there?
Nope.
Yeah, she went to a Padres game with her coworkers, and they only had drinks there, and they didn't have any of the pizza, which defeats the purpose of going to basic, in my opinion. But
dude, has she gone to more Padre games than you have?
No, I've gone to more.
Are you
well,
sure?
we got tickets for the Giants game next Saturday. That's what it was. This last weekend, we were going to go to the Padres game, but the usual tactic of buying your tickets the day of, where the tickets just drop in price.
No, it doesn't work anymore. I tried that the other day too.
It does not work anymore. They jack up the prices. The nosebleed tickets were $40 a ticket.
We talked about going to the game.
I'm not even kidding.
And we talked about going to the game on Sunday, and it was crazy. I looked on Saturday night, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, the game against the Giants, we got tickets in section 121, which are pretty good seats, and they're $40 now. But last Saturday, they were $40 for, like, I'm not kidding, the last row in nosebleed.
Like,
and
park at the park
and I'm like,
or some shit.
I told Dom, I'm like, we're not going to the game. I'm not going to spend $100 for 2 nosebleed tickets.
No, fuck that.
Like, it's just not going to happen. And it was pretty disappointing, but it was cool. We went to Lana's, grabbed some Thai food, had some drinks.
There you go.
We were almost completely caught up on Stranger Things, which big fans of the show.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, 2 episodes away from being completely caught up.
There you go.
But yeah, that was pretty much it for my weekend. How was yours?
Yeah, my weekend was good. Like I said, watched some Game of Thrones. I put in 2 skylights in the kitchen, so that was a lot of work. Yeah, just kind of plugging away at that all weekend. Nothing too special. It was Sarah's family was in town from Sacramento, so went over there for a Friday barbecue. Did a wine and paint night at the house.
Nice.
That was pretty fun. That was always a good time. I mean, her aunt just buys the kits and has them do them at the house. And it's like perfect. You just watch a YouTube video. Super cool. So, but yeah, that was about it.
This might be like the bitchiest thing, but I've turned into much more of a wine drinker than I have ever in my life.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
I used to drink a lot of wine when I used to work at the restaurant just because I had it readily available. But
I'm a big wine fan now.
I'm more of a beer and scotch guy still. Yeah.
No, I definitely like.
I like them all, but
yeah.
I appreciate a good wine.
But like for wine, I can drink it and not feel like a fat ass. And like beer, I like drink it and I feel like a fat ass, but I enjoy the taste of it better than all the other ones.
Gosh, okay.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, it's like drink the wine, you're like, oh yeah.
It depends. Like Shaylee's dad actually taught me this a while back. Like a nice like Chardonnay on the beach is good because you don't feel bloated after you drink it.
I'm a red wine guy. I like
on the beach though.
I don't know, I still would drink the red. I don't know.
To be honest, I'll drink whatever.
Yeah.
Like in
I've
all
learned
reality.
that about you.
Yeah. As long as it's not too sweet. If it's too sweet or too tart, I'm not drinking it.
Yeah.
But Well, what am I kidding? If it's the only thing available, I'll try it.
Too sweet is not good on wine. It tastes like a cooler or whatever, wine cooler, like grape juice or something.
Well, all right, let's get into it. We don't really have a whole lot to talk about this week, but the Padres have been a little bit depressing. Would rather stay away from them.
We're going to spare our Padre listeners.
Yesterday was almost the greatest day of our lives, and then it was almost the worst day of our lives, and then it ended up being just a regular Padre game.
I will say this. I was a firm believer it was going to happen. Like, sometimes I always have that thought in the back of my head. I was like, well,
dude,
I don't think it's going to happen. I want myself to believe it's going to happen, but yesterday I thought it was. His pitch count was still really good in going into the 8th inning. And then he just Starlin Castro hates America. He wanted to just freaking jack that shot over the wall.
Well, like, I know what Ryan's going to say about it, and I'll let him say his piece, but for me, it was more or less like I was watching the game, and he was dealing, it was still hitting his spots and stuff, and then just in my head, I started to envision that, like, excitement, like where you feel the anticipation.
You
just
think
like,
he was getting amped up?
I was, watching it, I was like, dude, he's going to do it. Like, in my head, I already thought, like, this is how it's going to go down, like,
I'm
going to be so excited, like, this is it. And it obviously didn't happen, but Ryan, I know you kind of saw it differently.
Yeah, if you looked back at the 7th inning, no fault to Chris Paddock. They don't allow him to go deep into games often, so you fatigue at different points. And he was leaving a lot of balls up. There was 3 balls hit consecutively for outs in that 7th inning, one of which Hunter Renfroe made a fantastic play on in right field.
Yeah, 2 of which were deep pop flies.
Yeah.
But it was looking a little shaky, definitely, in the 7th.
At that point, I kind of thought the Padres were going to pull him. And just because of the way Major League Baseball has shifted away from, letting younger pitchers go deeper into games, even if they have a no-hitter. I mean, obviously, if it's Bumgarner, David Price, Scherzer out there, they don't mind throwing them 120 pitches because they've been there, they've done that.
But those are also veteran guys.
Exactly.
You're saying younger guys. So.
Exactly.
And
so
not one coming off of Tommy John
exactly.
surgery.
So these younger guys, I really thought that they were going to pull him there in that after that 7th inning. And I thought that they would have had a better shot at a no-hitter at that point as well. And literally the first batter that comes up, he throws one in the dirt, and I was like, crap. Well, the next one's literally going to be 6 inches above the belt, and he's going to belt it. Next pitch, he hit it over the fence. So
you manifested this, Ryan. It's on you.
He was having the same thought process.
Because he called me after that 7th inning, and he goes, they're going to pull him after this. Watch, next inning, they're going to pull it. I was like, really? You're going to put that out there? And then
they didn't pull him, though.
The home run hits, and then, which was surprising too.
They hit the home run. They left him out there.
They left him in there.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, what is
he
this?
was still at a good pitch count. Like he was.
That's what I'm saying. He had like 80 pitches or something like that going.
He had a good pitch count, but he was losing his like. Not that he was losing his
control.
Zone, not even his control, but like his ability. Like Chris Paddock's greatest strength is his ability to hit the corners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and as you like when I think control, I think balls and throwing the ball in the dirt and things like that, like losing the strike zone. He never lost the strike zone, but he lost his ability to frame the pitch exactly where he wanted it to go.
Like,
and those
just didn't have to move the glove.
Those 3 inches there, I mean, those make the biggest difference in baseball. Sure. And I mean, I love Chris Paddock, and he pitched phenomenally. There's not a lot of dudes out there that can go out there and do that on as few pitches that he was playing with, but I was never as high on it after that 7th inning as I think everybody else was that was watching it.
Let me ask you guys something.
Yeah.
So let's say the Padres do pull Chris Paddock. Do you want our first no-hitter in history to be a combined no-hitter or from one pitcher?
Dude, with one pitcher.
That's how I am. I'm like, I don't want them
No, I know that. And I know that. But with the Padres, the way that they are, I can guarantee you that their first no-hitter is going to be combined.
Oh, yeah.
I hope not.
It's going to be like a 3-pitcher combined, too.
God, that would be a 2-pitcher. That would be the most anticlimactic.
But I also think that like just getting over that hump, like the next one will come a lot faster.
Well, it's kind of like the cycle where the Padres got their first cycle, and then like a year later we got the second one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is just one of those things. It's so sad that it's like, how
taking us such a long time.
How is it taking you so long?
We're the only team that's never done it,
and it's been a few years since
the Mets did it.
Yeah,
Johan Santana was still the ace of the ball club then.
So it's just like, man, you're going a while.
Well, and not only that, you just see the Angels like, come together after Tyler Skaggs passing, and they throw that no hitter 13-0 game. I remember. I don't know. Is that in our show notes?
No, I didn't put it, but
that's like a pretty
that was
significant.
Still a notable.
That was insane, by the way.
Yeah, that was phenomenal.
For your team to come together, it was 13-0.
His mom goes out there and throws the first pitch.
Yep. That one literally gives you goosebumps. You don't have to be that big of a baseball fan.
That's when you come into the realization, like, there's a lot of people that are clearly not listening to our podcast that don't understand sports and how sports can really be that one thing that is bigger than what's going on in between the lines of the game. And that's one of those moments where you really see how individuals rise up, when they're faced with adversity, when they're faced with tragedy. And it's so sad to hear about, something that happens to such a young, player, person.
He's younger than me, dude.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And that is one of the few, like, positives that I've always gathered from sports, is that sports have the ability to take your mind off of the tragedies around you. And I felt like the Angels, they went above and beyond with, not just giving back to their community, but the family of Tyler Skaggs.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, and it's just like you said, it's so cool to see.
Gives you goosebumps.
It gives you goosebumps just to see the ability of people to just come together for somebody like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, even though it's like it's still a game out there and the other team wants to win, just that you can like hunker down and just say, this is for him. This is our night.
Yeah,
it was really cool. But anyways, we got the trade deadline coming up. I think it's July 31st.
Yep.
So coming up in a couple
2 weeks.
You guys have any big pieces that you could see moving? I know the Padres were in talks with or rumors with Syndergaard.
I don't see Syndergaard moving, honestly.
I don't think anyone's going to give them what they want.
I really do think that it's going to be a very disappointing trade deadline for, buyers. I don't think that it's going to be a big market. Syndergaard, he's under control for the next couple of years. He's too valuable of an asset to give up for a minimal, haul. And teams aren't going to be willing to fish out, top prospects for him right now.
Well, plus I feel like it's different this year, more or less, because you have a lot of, staff aces that are on contract years or their contracts are coming to an end, and the teams are going to look to try to get something for them during the trade deadline. And a lot of teams need pitching. I think the only moves that we're really going to see, or the only big moves we're going to see, are going to come from the bullpen. Or from the pitching aspect.
I think there's a couple
starters. I could see starters.
There's one.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like starters. I mean, bullpen as a whole of just pitchers in general.
Yeah,
not like
we just played a team that has some starters that have played pretty well. That I think they're obviously in a sell mode, so they might flip these guys and try to get some prospects out of them. Mm-hmm. But Tyler Boyd on the Tigers would probably be my sure bet. Going to get traded before. I just have a feeling some contending team, everybody needs starting pitching, everybody needs bullpen help. Those are like bullpen especially is like the hottest commodity in baseball right now.
I think that you're absolutely right with Matthew Boyd, but the other big one,
I don't know why I keep calling him Tyler Boyd, the Bengals wide receiver.
Marcus Stroman's another one that I could definitely see on the move. Another player that's under control for several years coming, or. No, actually, this might be his last full year of control. I'm not sure, but obviously, Blue Jays not in contention this year. A move that I feel like I honestly feel has to be made is Madison Bumgarner. If they don't deal him, and if he ends up just as a free agent at the end of the year, that's a loss.
They're heating up right now so much that it's going to be so hard to trade them.
Shit, though. That's the thing.
I know, but
in our division, it doesn't mean anything.
They're ahead of us right now,
I know
they're ahead of the Rockies.
But every team is still 15 games under the Dodgers.
So no, you're not trying to win the division. You just maybe make the playoffs.
And that's the thing, though, is like you're playing for a position where you're battling teams like the Brewers and the Phillies. And
the smart thing is certainly to sell.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's when you're on such a hot streak, it is so hard to tell your fans, like, hey, we're winning a bunch of games, but you know what? We're not doing it this year. We're selling our best pitcher, and we're going to call it quits this year. But that's what
makes GMs good.
Yeah. For sure.
And I feel like if they don't, I mean, they're basically telling their fans, like, we're going to be shitty for the next 10 years.
For a while.
They're okay with being mediocre for several years. Yeah, and it's not like their farm system's deep or anything.
No.
They've tried to keep a winning season or a winning ball club together for too long, and they need to rebuild for sure.
Yeah. The other guy that I feel like has to be on the move just because the Orioles need to start, getting some chips back into this pool is Trey Mancini. He's not a dude that's super flashy, but he has the ability to play first base and outfield. And I think staying in the American League, having a power hitting, left-handed hitter. I don't know if he's a left-handed hitter anymore.
But he's putting together a decent year, certainly.
And the Orioles need to start, really thinking about the future. So any asset that you have,
they got that catcher that they drafted, top player in the draft last year, and he's, from what I've heard, a lot of the scouts saying too, this guy could probably be playing today in the bigs.
Yeah. He's from Oregon State.
I think so. But he's got a he's pretty much, they're saying he's going to be the next best Buster Posey. Catcher who can do just about everything except for obviously steal bases and
that's
run.
Not something you want your catcher.
And you really don't. You don't want your catcher doing it, nor do you expect them to do it.
Yeah, I mean, the Orioles definitely need to do something just to get some trade pieces back, or like get something back. Something for their organization to go moving forward.
They got to think long term, and
and
they got to wait for the crops to grow.
Yeah, I definitely just don't see Syndergaard moving. If I'm a Mets, like if I'm sitting there in the Mets front office and I have Syndergaard and DeGrom, I'm holding on to those two for as long as possible. Wheeler is somebody that I could see, another reputable starting pitcher that could be on the move. It's not a deep trade.
It's not deep, but every team needs
something
pitching.
Yeah, always.
I feel like every team, like this year more than others, a lot of big
bullpen.
markets need bullpen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, and I honestly, it sucks, and I know we said we weren't going to talk too much about the Padres, but them coming off this freaking All-Star break as cold as they have been. I know we're only 5 games into it or 6 games into it right now, but they lost 5 out of the last 6. Kirby Yates isn't getting any younger. He's going to be at his highest value right now. I don't see a point in holding on to that asset right now. Right. I mean, it's just.
Let me say my thoughts on it. So, obviously Kirby Yates is going to fetch a huge amount, but what are you trying to get in return for Kirby Yates?
That's the issue. Is like we don't need any more prospects.
100% agree with you.
We don't need any more prospects.
And so what would you be looking for?
I mean, we looking to fill a void.
Yeah, which our void right now is bullpen right now. Bullpen sucks. He's the only guy in our bullpen that's worth a damn.
We talked about it last week. I mean, bullpen's something that over time, with the amount of young pitchers that we have, is going to fix itself. And if the goal isn't to win this year, then
he'll still be on our team next year. He's still under team control next year. I wouldn't be totally opposed to, but I will say this, if we're in a really good spot in this regard, that guy, Andres Munoz, the guy who hits 102 miles an hour, and he's been kind of pegged as our
future closer.
Our closer of the future contender. He's been lights out since he's been called up. And, but I mean, at the same time, do we want to deplete our bullpen for, I mean, obviously we get the right pieces in place. We're kind of in that spot where we can just kind of passively listen to offers, and if
that's
somebody blows
it has
us
to
away,
be a perfect offer. It's not something that that's what I said. If it's prospects, no. Yeah. We don't need any more prospects. But our prospects are better than yours.
It's got to be, honestly, I feel like Luis Urias, I think they're just manipulating his service time. I feel like he's going to get called up at the end of the year.
I hope you're right.
Because it just seems like the dude's ripping the cover off the ball. Both of our second basemen are struggling.
Who's that?
Urias. Yeah. It just seems like they're just trying to get that extra year control, and like, well, we splurged on pulling up Tatis early, so maybe Urias, we'll hold on to him a little bit longer and he can fetch a little bit more. So, like I look at it's catcher, second base, center field. Those are like the biggest holes outside of bullpen. And then our starting rotation is going to clean itself up next year because we have Gore's going to make his major league debut.
Garrett Richards is actually projected to be throwing his first simulated game early next month.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think I was listening to the radio today, and they were basically saying they haven't been talking about it because there has been potential for him to come back in September and be ready to pitch in the majors.
Only if we're ready, like only if we're in contention.
Yeah, we need him to.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's kind of been one of those thoughts in the back of your head, but nobody's really garnered any like real thought to that.
Yeah.
But interesting enough, our starting rotation next year is definitely solidified with him back in that fold. So I don't see a real necessity to go out and like Brandon been saying for a while, a Syndergaard or a Boyd, like
because they're gonna want those guys.
The asking price is gonna be too high.
Yeah,
we don't need to give up our prospects for those. Now, if we can package together, like you were saying, whether it's a Urias, whether it's a Mejia,
a package of Will Myers. That's how I'm packaging up Will Myers.
That would be the biggest. That would be the biggest win for us if somehow we can unload Will Myers. I'm in some change for something.
I'm okay with,
and they want to clear up that outfield, man. Yeah, because I mean, Jankowski's going to be coming back next year.
100%. Took the words out of him.
We still have Franchi Cordero down there, which I mean, I know we haven't seen a lot from him.
Yeah,
since besides
but
the
we're
monstrous
just a log jam out there. I'd be cool with unloading Josh Naylor too.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I definitely agree with that.
Naylor's not getting consistent at bats, and I know
he has a lot of potential. He could, what I mean,
fetch a good return.
Exactly, yeah.
And I feel like we kind of already know who our corner outfielders are going forward. I feel like it's going to be Reyes.
Albeit before the trade deadline, but hopefully they stay true to what it is.
Reyes and Renfroe.
Yeah.
I've heard that they're open to trading both
That's what
of
I'm
them.
saying. So that's why I'm like, before the trade deadline, we know who our corner outfielders are.
Yeah, but we're saying like we know who should be at this point.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. It just sucks because like Franmil and Renfroe are the same player, essentially. Renfroe just has the better defensive upside. Like they almost have the exact same batting average, OPS, home runs, Renfroe leads by a couple. But I mean, they're so similar.
Yeah.
And
they're sluggers, yeah.
That I don't think that they're valuing having both of those guys on the roster, which I can understand that. I don't think as a fan.
I feel like they look at it as more like, well, we have two guys that are, like you're saying, exactly the same. We could do with one of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why don't you just do with both of them?
Yeah.
You can have them on either side. Like,
all I will say is if we end up rolling with both of them, our center fielder better be someone with the defensive capabilities of Manuel Margot.
Yeah.
Like, as someone who can at least field center field at an elite level.
At this point, I'm more for the case of having Manuel be our center fielder for the foreseeable future
until we find somebody who's better.
And honestly, like that's whose fault it is at the end of the day why we didn't get our no hitter, because they subbed in Will Myers,
and they hit the home run over his head. If he would have played back,
Margot would have robbed that.
Margot would have had a better chance at that.
Margot would have pulled a ladder out of his back pocket, climbed it.
If he was in left field, yeah. I just want to blame it on Will Myers.
That's all I wanted. But
I was going to say the same to you guys, but I didn't want you guys to think I was actually dead serious.
I kind of agree with that. I mean, not from 100% serious standpoint, but I do think Margot's out there. Like, there's a good chance that ball is getting robbed.
Well, Margot was playing center, but wasn't he? I'm pretty sure he was playing center at that time.
I thought Will Myers got hit over his head.
Yeah, Will Myers is in left field, though, and the ball was hit to left field, the home run. So,
are you sure?
Not sure?
Yeah, I'm almost positive. Margot's been getting consistent playing time, and
that's why I thought he got subbed in to go center, and then it went over like.
No, he replaced Franmil Reyes, who was playing in the game. Will Myers did. They don't ever pull Margot in a corner spot because he's like our best fielding outfielder in our entire ball club.
Doesn't matter. It was Will Myers' fault regardless.
But that's what I'm saying. I would have loved.
I don't care.
I would have loved to just blame it 100% on Will Myers just because I don't like him anymore.
Will Myers and Andy Green. It's your guys' fault.
God.
Deal with it.
Yeah, for fuck's sake. Can we trade a coach at the trade deadline?
Jesus
But hey,
Christ.
Margot has been throwing down of late.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have been noticing. He's like the one guy I feel like who's been producing of late because everybody else has been kind of cold.
Honestly, I feel like our whole outfield, Reyes and Renfroe have been playing, out of mind respectively. But at the same time, it's just like
they've been cold since the break.
It's still the outfield is still anybody's job, in my mind.
Yeah, no.
Like the production level that they put out there. Yes, you guys should be starting. But at the same time, if you sit a day and somebody else is in there, like a Josh Naylor, and they start going off and getting hot, well, then we're going to play that hand.
For sure.
In my mind, that's how I feel like they
outfield, catcher, second baseman.
So
yeah. That's just the way
taking
I'm
the
looking
hot
at it.
hand.
Literally, outfield, catcher, second baseman are all up for grabs.
Yeah.
The other positions are locked up, which is basically third, short, and first. The positions where you have everybody locked up forever. But
yeah,
it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I think it's going to be a kind of a dull trade deadline
for Padre fans.
Well, I think
across the board.
I don't think that it's going to be a massive.
I think the biggest sellers are going to be the Giants.
You think back in recent history, there hasn't been very many massive trades at the deadline of late. Last year it seemed like the Padres were the forefront with the Brad Hand trade, but I can't really remember.
Brad Hand, Manny
Machado. Yeah, but the Machado is kind of like.
Well, the Machado, you were waiting for somebody to go for.
Yeah, they hardly gave up
Yankees.
much to unload.
No, but it was still like, where's he going to go? Somebody's got to take it. Where's he going to go? Where's he going to go?
Yeah.
It wasn't like the blockbuster. Like,
yeah, no.
They sent. I was a 1-for-1 deal. Like they sent so and so to so and so.
I was just thinking of like.
Yeah.
On a large scale where it changed the landscape of the league, where it was like, hey, they just locked up the best starting pitcher in the game or something.
Well, I think that people thought that Machado, that's what his trade was kind of going to be. You know, like he was a half-year rental.
He was supposed to push the Dodgers to the top.
Well, he was supposed to be a half-season rental and then re-sign with that team, but he kind of chopped. I felt like I don't know. I felt like a lot of people thought wherever he's going to play this.
I don't think he did well enough for the Dodgers to want to tender him a contract, and the Dodgers are just paying so much money right now that it's just not worth it for him.
Well, I think I don't know. For me, I really thought he was going to go like to the Yankees. In all honesty,
I would have bet money on it.
I thought trade deadline, Yankees re-sign, boom, and then that would have been history.
But we got him.
Yeah, we did.
And now
Boys, we got him.
Yeah, we did. So I think we're all in agreement. Padres trade deadline. Listen to offers. I mean, we've been saying it for weeks.
Stand pat. Kind of listen. Field offers. If something blows you away, pull the trigger.
Yeah, we've been saying the same thing for weeks now. Unless Ryan, you feel a little different.
No, I was just thinking about like the past trades because Brandon was saying that there hasn't been a lot of like.
There really hasn't though. Like, look at him.
I would very much like to look at them with you. So depending on how far back you want to go, I won't go that far.
I was thinking like 2-3 years. Last 2-3 years.
2-3 years. So in 2015, the Johnny Cueto went to the Royals, which helped them win a World Series. Aroldis Chapman from the Yankees to the Cubs. Another guy helped him win a World Series.
Yeah, decent sized trade. I don't know. I mean, yes, I was just thinking of like
Justin Verlander in 2017.
That was a big trade for sure.
Wait, did you just say the Chapman deal? When was that one?
Chapman, that was 2016.
Yeah. That was a big one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't think of.
I feel like there's been almost one every year. Jake Peavy, the year he went to the Red Sox. From the Red Sox to the Giants. That was another year they won a World Series.
Whenever fucking fat boy CC Sabathia went to the Brewers, was it when he got traded? When was that?
I feel like he's been a Yankee for most of his career.
He was on the Twins.
No, but he got traded to the Brewers, and I
think he came up with the Brewers, didn't he? He was Indians, Brewers, then Yankees, right?
Indians, Brewers, Yankees. Yeah, so Dean's right. He got traded to the Brewers.
2008.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember that one was crazy.
and the next year he signed with the Yankees. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's not like I don't know. I would say Aroldis Chapman's a massive piece. I would say obviously Verlander, PV, Cueto was also like he was a stud. Like he was with the Reds. He was a phenomenal pitcher.
Yeah, he was. I think he was in the Cy Young discussion.
Yeah. He went to the Royals and they had James Shields and he kind of took the back seat to him. But
yeah, he was kind of he's kind of a fringe 3 years from now. But yeah. That seemed like a long time ago is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It just, like, this year I don't see any drastic trade like any of those. Unless Kirby Yates gets dealt.
Well, I just feel like
Kirby's not
I feel like to Brandon's point, in the recent history, the Padres are always involved in some way or another at the trade deadline.
And it's not like our guys are like game changers.
And even last year, it wasn't like anything serious. It was just Brad Hand going, and that was really...
Yeah, I actually saw Andrew Cashner pitch for the Red Sox the other day.
Yeah,
and he got lit up.
Yeah.
How are you
it's really funny when you look at some of our prospects that we've acquired through some of these crap I don't mean
Naylor is a guy we got for Cashner.
I don't mean to call Cashner a crap player. I'm just saying, like, when you look at, like, you know, James Shields and how we turned that into Fernando Tatis Jr.
Oh, God. Biggest trade rate probably in baseball history.
At this point, absolutely. Like, hey, yeah, we'll eat your contract. You can take this guy. I don't know if he'll be very good or not.
Done deal.
Boom.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, man.
I know we ate some of Shields' contract, but still.
It's worth it now.
Yeah, 100%. Going back in time, I would tell him 100%, like, yeah, you sign his ass. Like,
Tatis needs a lifetime deal before we lose him. You know what I mean? Right. Like,
God,
just give it to him now. They
were talking, like, I would really love to get the Ronald Acuna contract or whatever.
That's for sure happening at the end of the year.
No, he needs to get the, what's that guy? What's that, that baseball player?
Yohan Moncada?
Yeah, for the Mets guy that gets paid like $1 million every
Bobby
year.
Bonilla?
Yeah.
Yep.
Give him a Bonilla contract, man.
Right now.
Give it right now.
God.
That's
great. Like the best contract in sports history.
In any life history.
In life history.
He's like sitting on a golf course. He's like, hey guys, I got paid today.
So yeah, I got.
Oh, it was your payday? How much you make?
1.3.
1.3 million. Wait, what?
So yeah, I just got it. I stopped playing baseball like 20 years ago. So
thanks for buying us this round of golf.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Oh man. Well, that's trade deadline. Like we said, we got a couple weeks to go, so we'll see if anything really moves. I don't really think anything's going to move the needle.
Yeah.
It'll just kind of be, oh, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so. But playoff baseball, man, it's always an exciting time anytime we're getting close to it. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see, we got NFL up next. Ryan, you got anything for us there?
They released the power rankings. This is the NFL future power rankings. And
how high are the Chiefs up on that?
Okay. I'm not even going to get into the fact that the Chargers are not in the top 5, but I'll give you the top 5. Number 5 is the Seattle Seahawks. Number 4 is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wait, which Seahawks?
Don't even get me started.
How do you put the Seahawks and the Chiefs?
Wait,
like the Chiefs? Are you serious?
All right, well,
first of all, if we're going, okay, yeah. So number 3 is the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 2 is the New England Patriots.
God,
this pisses me off to say this number 1.
Patriots deserve to be in the list. They're the incumbent.
Yeah, but they're number 2.
But they're number 2.
Number 2.
Okay. In my opinion, you win a championship, and unless you lose,
that's why they should be number 1.
Major piece. Okay, yeah, okay. I get what you're saying.
That's our argument here.
Okay, I thought you were saying like
they don't deserve to be there. No, they deserve. Yes.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Who do you think would be the number 1 team? Just out of curiosity. Well, out of the teams I just listed, who would be the number 1?
The only other team that I can think of that you like might even consider is like the Rams because they were in the Super Bowl last year.
I was going to say the Saints.
Okay. The number 1 team is the Indianapolis Colts.
Wait, is this power rankings for this year or power rankings going forward?
Going forward.
Yeah, that's a completely different thing though.
What do you mean that's completely different? Hold on. Explain to me why it's different first. I want to know why you think
because they're saying like they have a young nucleus that they think are going forward can be projected into being stud players, which they just had the Rookie of the Year last year. So
absolutely.
I can understand why they'd be ranked there.
Number 1?
But I don't know if they'd be ranked number 1, but
we're talking about a team that
I definitely wouldn't put the Patriots in the top 5 if it was power rankings going forward.
I mean, as long as Belichick's there, I really am not taking them out of the top 5.
Tom Brady's going to be gone pretty
hold
soon.
on. Even to your point of saying that like it's like the young nucleus aspect of it going forward, the Eagles were on that list.
The Eagles were on this list. Okay,
No, definitely have issues with the list. But what I'm saying is,
No.
like, I was under the assumption it was actual power ranking.
Okay, but even going forward, like the Eagles, like who's a young guy going forward? Carson Wentz isn't considered a young guy anymore. He's like what?
Well,
On
he's
his
2
fourth
years
year?
in. He's still young.
Third year.
He's
for a
still young.
quarterback, like I would say he's still younger.
But even still,
everybody's jumping on the Colts because of their drafting ability, and they have had phenomenal drafts.
they have a great team.
As a Charger fan,
got
I
luck.
can tell you that recruiting, scouting,
You guys, the
prospects
Chargers
don't-
should certainly be up there.
But
Yeah.
that doesn't accumulate to being the number one team in football all the time. You still have to have luck.
yeah,
Funny because they have Andrew Luck, but you still have to have the coaching. You have to have all the chips fall into place,
I mean,
and
they
you
have
have to
great
stay
coaching, though.
healthy.
Yeah.
You have to stay healthy. That's the biggest factor.
yeah. No, I think it's. I
yeah.
think I think we're like misunderstanding what their power ranking is.
Yeah. Okay. I definitely misunderstood the power ranking. I just
Future power rankings.
I went for the Super Bowl 2020 odds because I feel like that's a good metric of power rankings as well.
Yeah.
Would you agree? Like,
But that, yeah, I don't think this is like for 2020. I think this is like 5
like
years
for
down the line.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, but just for 2020. So, Patriots are 6-1. Chiefs are 6-1. So the Patriots and the Chiefs are the same favorites to win. I still don't understand why the Chiefs are so highly touted.
Well,
I
I mean,
I 100% agree with you.
I will say this: the Chiefs had the Patriots on the ropes last year.
But the Chiefs
But they
lost
have a
Kareem
di-
Hunt, and nobody knows what's happened with Tariq Hill.
Thank you. They've lost two
They're
major
two
guys.
best players. I mean,
Yeah.
outside of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
You
outside
still
of
have
Patrick
you
Mahomes.
still have a freaking stud quarterback.
No, he's great,
and
but
you
he
still
play-
have Travis Kelce, who's in my opinion the best tight end in football.
Absolutely.
Gronk gone.
Agreed.
No argument there.
And you still have. I mean, they play an Arrowhead, man. It's
They
tough
have the
playing there.
worst defense in,
Thank you.
in the
Their
AFC.
defense sucks, no doubt. 100%
you.
agree there.
Oh, not the worst, but they have like one of the worst
Their
three.
defense sucks. There's no
Yeah.
sugarcoating that.
They lost their two best edge rushers in James Houston and Ford.
Yep.
They got the Honey Badger, so that's cool, but that doesn't do shit for their defensive line. And I mean, I'm not saying that they're not a top 5 team,
I
but
just
they
hate
don't
how
have the same odds to win the
everyone
Super
is
Bowl.
Over there sucking their dick, thinking that Patrick Mahomes is like the
It's-
second coming of Jesus. Like, he's a great quarterback.
That's
I get
true.
that, but he's not going to change your team for you.
I mean, quarterback can make or break a ball club for sure.
Defense
yeah.
lost them that game against the Patriots.
No, and I agree 100%. But I'm saying, I mean, maybe making them the favorites would not be my pick, but putting them in the discussion is a realistic thing.
Absolutely, I'll give you that.
I'll give you
So
that.
who's number 3, 4, and 5?
3 is Rams, 4 Saints, 5 Colts, 6 Bears, 7 Eagles, 8 Packers, 9 Browns, 10 Chargers.
That's so fucking depressing.
Damn, they put the Browns ahead of the Chargers.
They put the
They
Packers
put the
ahead
Packers ahead of the
of the
Chargers.
God.
Like
The Packers are not going to make the playoffs again this year.
Are you guys
I
going to
agree.
take Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes
Aaron Rodgers
all day, right?
every time.
So that's why I'm saying that a quarterback will change you, and I think that's the only reason why they're up there. But that also, to my point of Patrick Mahomes isn't the number 1 quarterback. Why are they ranked so high? Like, they should be below the Saints. I'll give them that. I'll give them 5.
I love the Saints. I
I
think
like
the Saints
Patrick
are studs.
Mahomes a lot, but I'm
Filled
taking
studs.
Patrick Mahomes. Okay, taking Philip Rivers out of the conversation because I love Philip Rivers. I'm taking Patrick Mahomes 4th out of, like, if I had to pick between my quarterbacks, and it's Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers in no specific order, then Patrick Mahomes.
Is that like building your franchise around
Yeah, if
them,
I'm
or
building
just
my
for
franchise-
next
if I'm-
year?
If I'm
You said
building my
Tom Brady,
franchise,
Aaron
or not
Rodgers?
building, I'm sorry, not building, but if I'm just picking a quarterback for my team
For this year. Yeah.
I'm not saying any specific
Yeah,
order,
yeah,
but Tom
yeah.
Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, then Patrick Mahomes.
Would you take Philip Rivers above him?
I honestly would, but it's not like it's a hard choice. I mean, it's not like if I'm taking the Chargers offense or am I picking my own team? Because it's like, okay,
I
I
like
could.
those picks. I mean,
Yeah.
for next year, if you're building a franchise, Mahomes would probably be my top pick. But that's a different
discussion.
Different discussion
because Tom, everybody that I just listed is almost 40 years.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying. I'm like, I got these guys who probably can lead me to a Super Bowl this year.
Yeah,
and Mahomes could, but
so
he's young, so I don't know. I don't.
Forward.
and like we haven't seen him. Like I watched that dude throw some balls to Tyreek Hill that nobody in this league is catching. Now, getting into the discussion of whether or not Tyreek Hill should be there we're not going to touch that right now, but. If he's not there for an extended period of time,
they just need somebody who can blow the doors off the defense and just
just fly.
But how rare is that?
Also catch the ball. That's the thing is Tyreek Hill, like he's like the dude from the Replacements, but he could catch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coach, I look like an elephant just jerked off my.
Yes, he's Clifford Franklin, but he could catch. I mean, like it doesn't make sense to me that everybody is looking. I mean, even Vegas, who, I mean, say what you want about power rankings, but I trust Vegas more often than I trust the freaking people on ESPN or NFL.
Yeah, because there's money involved here. That's just people's opinion.
Yeah.
And I feel like Vegas has insider info that's not shared to the public, too. I don't know if you guys kind of get that.
Well, I think they just have a different metric or like a different algorithm. Like,
I think it's looking at it like Moneyball, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm sure the Eagles, I'm sure the Packers, Eagles, and Bears have like an even chance to win it. They're all at 14-1. I think they have a better chance, probably because they have like strength of schedules easier. They probably play a lot of home games.
Some of it's also like,
you know what I mean? I'm sure they have
like
certain
people
things.
placing bets
down. What were the Bears
ranked
ranked on there?
The Bears are
Bears.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So if the Bears
6, but they're like 6 through 8 because they were 14-1, but so are the Eagles and Packers.
If the Bears don't miss that field goal last year, we're talking about a totally different outcome, possibly of the Super Bowl.
No, I did. I thought
definitely
the Bears
in the power ranking going forward. They'd be a top 3 team going forward. That defense is incredible.
I definitely think that defense. I thought they were probably appropriately placed. So I would probably put them like 5. If
but I'm saying like. Yeah,
I'm putting the Bears above the Saints, the Rams, the Chiefs.
I'm putting the Bears at 3.
I would put the Saints above them, but I'd probably put them above the Rams, who were just in the Super Bowl.
Give us your power rankings. Your top 5 power rankings.
So if I'm, number 5, I'd have the Chargers.
Okay.
Number 4, I would have the Chiefs. Number 3, I'd have the Saints. Number 2, I'd have the Bears. Number 3, I'd have the Bears. Number 2, I'd have the Saints, and number 1, I'd have the Patriots.
So you have 2 teams coming out of NFC West in that top 5.
And it's not that I dislike the Rams, but I just feel like it's going to be very challenging for them to replicate what's going forward because that division is becoming so stout.
Mm-hmm.
That and just I felt like they ran Todd Gurley freaking to the bone.
We talked about it last year. When the Super Bowl was happening, is like they went all in. On this year.
On the regular season.
Yes.
You see that.
Aaron Donald, they got that massive contract to him. They went out and they signed Sue. They traded for the cornerback that used to play for the Broncos. Talib. Marcus Peters. They traded for Marcus Peters. Their future's
the big name.
They got C.J. Anderson.
They got nothing left in the bucket, for drafts going for the next couple years.
Yeah.
They traded up for everything. Or they traded away everything. And now they're left with, there's no more Ndamukong Suh. You still have Aaron Donald, so that's good. You don't have any freaking linebackers. Your, top corners, Marcus Peters doesn't show up for freaking half the games during the regular season.
And they just got another year older.
Yeah. So
they were already veterans at that point.
And then Jared Goff, I've never really been extremely high on.
I feel like he's a system quarterback.
Exactly. Brandon Cooks was the other guy that they traded for and then re-signed before he played a fucking down.
There you go.
So, I mean, they have a lot of money invested in some players, and they haven't even signed Jared Goff yet. So, going forward, I don't see them. I mean, not that they're not a successful team, but I'm not putting them in my top 5.
I can't fault them for going all in, though. When you got a chance to go to a Super Bowl, I just think, that's just a rare thing.
These are the repercussions of that, though.
Yeah.
You didn't win it.
Yeah.
Now you kind of have to go back to the drawing board, so you put the GM and the head coach up for the task. Hopefully, they can prove me wrong.
Yeah. What are your top 5? You have them?
Oh, God. You just picked... You're picking on me. No, I'm just...
Do you want me to do mine? I know you've been out of the game for a little bit with NFL.
Yeah, you go first, because I still feel like I might be a little rusty, and Ryan's going to make me pay for it.
So before I start my rankings, I just want to say I think that the NFL is rigged for sure. And I think that everybody is. I think
That's this Area 51 crap again.
I think the NFL and everybody in the NFL is so high on Sean McVay. Everybody thinks McVay is the answer. He's the freaking, you know what I mean? The Rosetta Stone for how you coach a team, like all that kind of stuff. So
I agree with that.
That's my only reason why I'm putting them a little bit higher. So I'll go 5. I'm going Colts. Then I'm going Chiefs.
I hate you so much.
Why did you pick Colts 5? You went from like just you went from like hating them a second
you
ago.
So much.
Well, because
Continue on with your fucking.
Go
arguments.
ahead. Colts, Chiefs.
So I'm going Colts, Chiefs. Then I'm going to go Rams, Saints, Patriots. That's my top 5. I think the Colts have one of the youngest the top teams. Don't go anywhere.
I'm peeing. I can't listen to this crap.
They definitely have a young squad. I don't know if I'd throw them in top 5. I was just like, when I was saying going forward, I think they're going to be a good team.
I think this is going forward. I think.
Oh, you're doing this is your futures power ranking.
No. I think next year, Frank Reich is going to lead that team deep into the playoffs
that punk
again.
bitch?
Dude, he knows how to control that team, run that team. You know, they have probably the greatest offensive line in football, in my opinion. They have great secondary, great linebackers. Andrew Luck is finally coming into his own. He's understanding an offense. And
I'm a big Andrew Luck fan.
Who's their running back? It was a rookie.
It's like Marlon something, right?
I can't remember. Marlon Mack? Does that sound right?
Mack, yeah.
You know, that guy's a bruiser, so that's the only reason why I put them at 5. I could have honestly interchanged the Chargers in at 5. They're probably on my 6. But, I mean, come on. It's the Chargers.
It's the Chargers. We know
Ryan's not here. He went to the bathroom, so, you know, in all reality, fuck the Chargers. Like, I don't want to see you do that. Like, in all reality, like, I want to see you just, like, blow. Like,
maybe I should do my power rankings before he gets back.
No, he's back. Yeah, so, you know, I should put, you know, the great, the amazing Chargers at number 1 because they're clearly our favorite team on the podcast. Yeah. So nothing bad was said about them. Definitely don't listen back to this part of the podcast. But
I listened to the podcast.
Don't listen back to this part of it. Just skip this part. But
so what crap did you say about the Chargers?
I just said I think they're a great team.
They're just well run.
They know not what you said.
They treat their players with respect and their fans.
I think.
And
okay,
first of all, the Colts organization treats their players, if not worse than the Chargers, just as bad.
I think that the Chargers need to bring back Norv and, you know, really go for it again.
I want to hear the truth, Dean.
So
you can't handle the truth.
No, I'd put the Chargers at 6. They would have been. They're like right on the fence. For
what
me.
makes the Colts better than the Chargers, though? Because everybody else. I mean, I just want to hear the opinion because clearly ESPN and everybody else wants the Colts to win a fucking Super Bowl this year.
For me,
God, I can feel the hatred towards the Colts.
For me, it's 3 things. It's 3 things. 1, their offensive line.
Okay.
2,
yes.
their linebacking core.
Yes.
3, T.Y. Hilton.
Mm.
Those are my 3 things, and that's why I think.
I know you're not a big. I think T.Y. is a stud.
I think he's a stud too.
I think that the Chargers have 2 wide receivers on their roster.
T.Y. Hilton's real name's Eugene. It's like Eugene Morris Hilton. Like, I don't know where T.Y. came from, but I'm just Anyways, but
they have done an amazing job of surrounding Andrew Luck with the correct offensive lineman to protect him and allow him to be the quarterback that he can.
Yeah. So that's
if Andrew Luck can stay healthy. So he did all last year, but neck issues. You never know what's going to happen.
Hey, Peyton did it for years after his.
He did.
And, same organization, same doctors.
No, he played for the fucking Broncos.
No, but I'm saying that he
got
got injured. He went
Colts.
through his rehab with like the same organization. Peyton did.
No.
I'm pretty sure he did.
He flew to Europe. He didn't do any of his...
It's the same doctor that
he didn't do any of his rehab with the Colts, though.
He was still under the Colts.
He was under there. It was the same like group of people that Andrew Luck went through. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was the same process. So that's why I think that like his neck thing is going to be...
But that's not... I don't think that he's going to have any neck issues, but he's had other health issues that he's had. So I'm saying, if Andrew Luck isn't healthy... Which, I mean, you could fucking break Phillip Rivers' knee in half, and that dude's still going to step out there and play quarterback.
Yeah.
If Andrew Luck isn't healthy, this team is a sub-500 team. That's fact.
Yeah.
You can say that about most teams.
You can say that about a lot of teams. Yeah, you really
you take the quarterback out of the equation, teams just
look at the Bears last season. Like right when Mitch Trubisky got hurt, they put in that whatever that kid's name is, and they lost like
a bunch of
3 games in a row. You know, it's like that puts them out right there. But you know, in all reality, I would put the Saints at 1, but just because the Patriots are the Patriots and they won it last year, that's the only reason why I'm still sticking with them at 1. But honestly, like I could take the Patriots out of my top 5 and put the Chargers in. Like the Patriots are either 1 or they're out.
The
my
Colts
opinion.
play the Chargers week 1, so we're gonna find out real quick who the better fucking team is.
Can't wait for that.
Well, I will say this:
gonna put my Colts jersey on.
The NFL is up for grabs. I certainly don't look at the Patriots and just feel like they're just far and away the best team in the league.
Yeah,
but it's the Patriots, and they always, no matter what, are
in all reality,
great ball club, and they just at least go to a conference finals at the very least. And
in all reality, I want to change my 5 power ranking. I want to go Chargers, Colts, Rams, Saints, Patriots. I want to take the Chiefs out of it. I don't even think the Chiefs deserve to be in the top 5.
Give you that better.
In my opinion,
my biggest thing though,
you're speaking to your audience there.
No, okay. It's not my audience. No, in all reality,
I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can right here, but it's very hard because I'm looking at strict like facts here. The biggest thing was the Chargers needed to re-up on linebackers, so they go out and sign a veteran, Thomas Davis, to solidify that role, to take some of the pressure off Denzel Perryman, and to allow other players to come back and Nwasu is another guy that played well for us last year. So they have more depth there. Then they go out and they draft a safety in the second round, Nasir Ederle. Another dude that's going to come in, probably play right away. It allows Desmond King to go back and play the nickelback, which allows for, Trevor Williams and Casey Hayward, who both Casey Hayward at least is a Pro Bowl player, All-Pro Derwin James still back there, Desmond King. Then you talk about Mike Williams and how he had 11 touchdowns last year in, half the amount of volume that Keenan Allen had. Oh, yeah, Hunter Henry's coming back as well. The only question mark that you have is Melvin Gordon going to be on the roster? Other than that, there's not a starting lineup. I'm talking away from the fact that the Chargers always find a way to screw things up. There's not a starting lineup that I would have right now other than the Chargers. Not one.
I don't know. I might take the Browns. In all reality, I think you can just on paper.
But I'm trying to look at the statistics and the facts. Until the Browns can put something on the field, the same amount. Like I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying I'm looking at the production last year, and the year before.
No, I get what you're saying from the numbers in recent history, but I'm saying like the Browns just on paper, like Brandon's saying, with their statistics that they have in previous years for their players. That looks like a better team.
But
players that have not been on that roster.
Exactly.
And so that's what I'm saying with the Chargers. We're talking about a young team that's been coming up together, that has stayed together. They haven't lost any pieces. So I'm not sitting here making an argument that they deserve to be number 1. I'm not stupid. I know how the Chargers look in the eyes of the NFL. They got their ass whooped last year by the Patriots in the playoffs. They choked in games that they should have won. But at the end of the day, if we're looking at...
Didn't they lose to the Colts last year?
No, they lost to the Patriots.
Oh, that
they
was
got
the Patriots.
smoked by the Patriots.
Yeah,
that's right.
That was
and Colts got their ass whooped by the Chiefs, too. So,
yeah, that's right. That's my,
It's one of those, like, I don't understand, obviously the Colts were a playoff team last year as well, but they had the same fate as the Chargers, and that was getting their ass beat in the divisional round. But you look at their roster, and, people are like, oh my gosh, I'm falling in love with this draft pick.
Yeah.
I'm not even looking at the dudes that we drafted. I didn't mention our first overall pick. I'm talking about the guys that actually put out the product on the field this past year. Injuries and all those kind of things factoring in. We'll see.
Who do you think is going to be the worst team in the NFL?
Oh.
Worst team?
Yeah, worst team in the NFL. Like, I feel like you got to go Cardinals, right?
San Diego Supercharged.
I'm not going to say the Cardinals. I mean...
Like, Redskins got to be down there. Dolphins got to be down there.
I feel like the Redskins...
the Giants.
I feel like the Giants are playing. The Giants got to be that.
The Giants
team.
for sure. I mean,
I think the Jaguars are going to fall off hard.
I still think the Raiders are going to suck. Raiders are up there.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, I mean, I
I mean, I've at least talked so much shit about Derek Carr, so I mean, it would only be right for them to.
Bengals are pretty awful.
Bengals.
Yeah, they're not good either.
The Buccaneers.
Cardinals might be the pick, though. I don't know.
I don't know.
It just depends on how much. Like,
I feel like we're not really going to get that, like, defeated team.
I don't know. The Bucks.
There's going to be like the worst team's probably going to have 3 or 4 wins. It's not going to be the 1-win Detroit Lions, 0 wins or whatever. Back in the
Bills. I mean,
I don't think the Bills are going to be as bad as they were last year.
They've spent a lot of money this offseason. I can see the Dolphins. The Ravens lost a couple massive pieces, but I would just laugh my ass off. And I hope this doesn't happen, but like the whole Lamar Jackson process just goes to shit, and they end up as the worst team in the NFL last year.
Yeah,
I mean that's a coin flip right there because it could happen.
Yeah, I hate that too. I feel like he has so much talent.
Yeah, he does,
and it just sucks that he's on a team like that. But
yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's going to be an exciting year for football. It always is.
How do you think the 49ers are going to do? Jimmy G's back?
Dude, I have a lot of confidence in the 49ers. A lot. That they've built that defense to last. They've gone out and they've spent money where they need to on the offensive side of the ball. Injuries plagued them last year.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I'm not as heavy with the Rams as everybody else is I look at teams like the Seahawks and the 49ers and then the Cardinals. Well, the Cardinals are, they still have David Johnson. They have some good pieces on, Patrick Peterson and on the defensive side of the ball. Calais
you could literally
Campbell.
Look at almost every roster though, and
that's why the NFL is so great.
Find like, oh yeah, he's good. Oh yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
and you're like, well, maybe if he does well enough, they could be a decent ball club.
And that's the thing that I love about football, though. It goes so much deeper than your roster.
You got to look at system. You got to look at you got to go Moneyball on it. You got to look at like the analytics of the team.
And that's why I stopped bashing on the Patriots because it's like you can't. I mean, they do everything right. If Tom Brady goes down, there's somebody else in there. Or that organization is doing something to get somebody else in there that can at least get him to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Just win a couple games, bide him time until Brady's in. Because you wouldn't count on the backup, Jacoby Brissett or whoever their backup is.
Yeah. He's a Colts backup now.
To go carry them in the
postseason. I don't know. The Jacksonville, I actually see them taking a step forward with Nick Foles. And, I mean, it's tough. I mean, the Broncos... Maybe. I mean, what kind of Joe Flacco are we getting? Is he going to work into that system?
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. I feel like it's a lot easier to predict the top end of football than it is to predict the bottom.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Because it's a coin flip.
Right now it would be. Yeah.
One quarterback goes down and.
Well, the perennial shitty teams are actually decent. The Detroit Lions, the Browns.
I think the consensus pick is the Giants, though. I mean, they got rid of Odell Beckham. Yeah. Eli Manning's still their starting quarterback.
Seems like
their best players are running back, but they don't have anybody to block for them.
And then they drafted a quarterback that everyone knows that they reached heavily for.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to Duke.
Yeah.
Well, Brandon, you have anything for NBA? I know last week was a lot for us to cover.
Yeah, I mean...
All quiet on the home front?
It's for the most part been pretty quiet. You can kind of pick and choose small things, but nothing really worth digging into.
Chris Paul trade rumors have probably gone pretty stagnant because nobody wants to eat his contract.
Dude, Chris Paul, even last year, even the Rockets knew that they were overpaying for him. But once you're over the cap, you can go way beyond the cap to go, bring back your own guys.
And he's not their problem anymore.
And so now they flipped him to OKC, and now... my boy Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be playing behind one of the legendary point guards in the league, I guess, if you want to call Chris Paul that. But, yeah, that's. I mean, I'm over Chris Paul. I'm not a huge Chris Paul fan, even when he was on the Clippers. I liked the fact that we were winning games with him, but overall, his attitude towards the game and the way he treats other players, I just don't like that shit.
It's hard for me to even say that a player is as talented as they are when they're just such a shitty person.
Yeah, he swears when the other team plays or when his teammates do not perform well, he takes it out on his teammates as opposed to building them up, and it's kind of like, all right, dude. Just so you know, you're always hurt in the postseason. You can't carry a team deep into the playoffs. You've shown it throughout your career. Once you win a damn championship, then you can go play this whole I'm high and mighty, and you need to be playing more like me type thing.
I feel like Chris Paul's like a poor man's D Wade.
He's just like he's got an attitude.
No,
I don't know. I wouldn't really compare the two of them, but they are friends, so maybe you can lump them together.
Yeah. But all right.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of attitude, but OKC's gonna have a hard time finding somebody to take his contract. Sounds like teams have given up, and the Rockets are a well-run organization. I felt like they had already shopped him around quite a bit. There was rumors that they did. And so when he got traded, it was kind of like, if I was OKC, I would have been like, well, we got these 2 picks out of him. Now we have this massive shit contract for the next 3 years. Maybe we shouldn't have taken 2 late picks in the draft to take on Chris Paul's contract, even though they did offload Russell Westbrook's contract. But yeah, I mean, nothing too significant. I think we're waiting for like the last few pieces to maybe fall. Andre Iguodala is probably going to get traded before the season's over. But outside of that, I mean, he's kind of like the last like decent piece that's still available. Grizzlies are trying to get an asset out of him, and they traded for him earlier to gain draft picks, and they're trying to flip him for more draft picks as opposed to just straight up waive him. If they can get like a second rounder or first rounder out of him, that they would be stoked.
Okay, nice. Well, yeah, like basketball, not a whole lot is going on in NHL. The only big news pieces were the Seattle expansion team named their GM. It's going to be former NHL player and Hall of Famer Ron Francis. So that'll be cool that they start next season. So 2021 season. We'll see how that team goes. And, usually expansion teams do good their first season. So hopefully you can put something good together. And then the other one was Alexander Ovechkin is going to be the NHL ambassador to China in August. So they just do like some hockey camps and like a media tour, that kind of thing. So, good for Ovi. One of the best players in the NHL and one of the greatest ever. So good of him to be selected and, I don't know, go do that kind of thing.
Nice.
But that was pretty much it for NHL. See what else we got. Ryan, you are the stat of the day this week.
Stat of the day, dabba-dooba-doo, stat of the day, dad of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day. Bop.
All right. So I'm going to take it to baseball. I'm going to take it way, way, way back into baseball. It's just a fun little fact that I thought that was kind of batshit crazy.
It's a fun fact. Did you know Fernando Tatis is really good at baseball?
Yeah, right? So if you think about like some of the best players, hitters to ever play the game of baseball, you think about that milestone of 3,000 hits.
Fernando Tatis? No.
So if you're looking at, probably, arguably, the greatest player to play the game in Hank Aaron.
Okay.
If you subtract his 755 home runs that he hit in his entire career, he would still have 3,000 hits.
Nice.
Wow. That's impressive.
That is impressive.
Like,
Jesus.
I mean, it's crazy because you look at like what power hitters are. They're not players that generally hit for average. Hit, a lot of base hits and things like that. So looking at a guy that just did everything, now we're kind of seeing that with Mike Trout, somebody that can go out there and hit for power, also hit for average. We also see it with Christian Yelich in the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think anybody ever is going to be able to do that.
No.
Yeah.
How many total hits did he have? Do you know?
Jeez, that's a lot, though.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot of hits for 755.
You hear about him too, man. He's like, I think he leads all of baseball history in strikeouts too. So like for him to like have all these like numbers,
dude, it's just like
seems like he's such a polarizing player at each
just a gamer. Just played every single day. Just went after it.
Yeah, he was swinging for the fence each time, man.
Yeah,
but he was
not only like swinging for the fence. He was just trying to hit the ball.
Yeah.
And like he had the power to hit it over.
Yeah.
Or if not, then he'd hit it into a
Hammer
gap,
and Hank.
Yeah.
3,771 hits.
That's impressive.
That's impressive.
And our boy Tony's got like 31 or 3,200.
He had a career batting average of above or at 305.
Career 305. Damn.
Damn.
He had that one season where he was like, what was it? It was like 3-something.
Who?
Hank Aaron. He had that one season where he hit over. It was like
355.
that's what it was.
355.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it's just insane because you look at his
it's
home
no
runs
394. I'll tell you that.
He never hit over 40 or never hit over 50 home runs in a season.
That's impressive. That dude's just consistent.
The longevity of his career.
He played for 22 years or 23 years.
Wow.
I mean, and he was consistent.
Damn, that's a long time. Dude. Yeah.
That's why his name's in the record books over Barry Bonds too.
Yep.
I always love like
Barry
that meme where it's like when you're watching sports. Yeah, he's the oldest player in his position at 34. And you're like, well, fuck, I'm almost that old.
Yeah. Well, just guys used to play so much deeper into their careers back in the day than they do now.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's like, obviously the game has changed, but it's like, how has it changed where it's more demanding on your body?
Certainly, it's like, because these young guys come up and they're just
better pitching.
They're just killing it right out the gates, too, now.
Yeah.
Like, you're seeing a lot more, like, 20-year-old phenoms coming up than ever before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember, like, Andrew Jones was, like, the guy back when we were younger, but now you're like, okay, I can list, like, 6 dudes that are like that have been come up in the last like 5 years.
Yeah,
that are like, you know, the Tatis, Vlad Jr., Bryce
this year
Harper
alone.
type,
you
whatever.
know what I mean? It's like
Trout. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's crazy, man. But all right, everybody, we are the Three Amigos and a podcast. You can find us 3A anywhere you listen to podcasts. So keep listening to us, and we'll keep doing this. So we will be back next week.
Thank you, everybody.
Later.